Scientifically speaking, we're sharing the view. From labs to clinics, breakthrough shining through, with minds that inspire and stories to unfold. Scientifically speaking, the future's being told.
Welcome to another episode of Scientifically Speaking with Christine on Oz Arab Media. Today, we're diving into an extremely important topic, which is children's and young people's mental health. With the rising stresses, social media influences, and changing family dynamics, ensuring young people have the access to support in the most crucial time ever. I'm delighted to welcome Carolyn Elmo, a spokesperson for Kids Helpline. This service offers free confidential counseling by phone, web chat, and email to young people aged 5 to 25, 25 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that is Helpline for Kids, ladies and gentlemen. Carolyn, it's so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Christine. It's a privilege to be here today, and thank you for shining a light on this very important topic and the work that Kids Helpline does.
Of course, it is indeed very important. And to start with, can you tell us about your role with Kids Helpline and how you came to focus on youth mental health?
Sure. So my background is in mental health and suicide prevention. I am assist qualified, which basically means I have the skills to intervene or step in and support someone who might be at imminent risk of ending their life.
Right.
I'm also an Are You OK ambassador. And coming from a multicultural background, I've seen firsthand, just how real and challenging mental health stigma can be.
Yeah.
On top of that, I'm a mum to 3 young kids.
That's more than enough.
And I guess all of these experiences have really shaped my passion for this work. And that's what led me to Kids Helpline, where I'm now the stakeholder engagement partner. And in this role, I get to champion the incredible value and impact Kids Helpline has every single day.
That is lovely. Look, Kids Helpline defines itself. We're here for you anytime, any reason. What does that statement really mean in practice for the little one?
So in practice, it simply means no issue is too big or too small. Whether it's bullying, anxiety, family stress, or just feeling lonely and wanting to talk through something with someone, a young person can reach out anytime. So we're available 24/7, and our counselors are trained to listen without judgment and provide practical strategies, emotional support, and refer to specialist services if needed. So we really harp on the, anytime, any reason, particularly because other face-to-face services, close at the end of the business day or are closed on weekends. And so we like to remind young people hey, we're here for you in those times.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, a shout out to all those that stay after office hours as well for this amazing cause. Carolyn, when you talk to a young person for the first time, what common concerns or feelings do you see? How do you explain mental health to them in simple terms?
So the common concerns that we're seeing are definitely anxiety, mental health issues, issues around friendships and relationships, family conflict, things happening at home, and also a rising number of identity questions. The way we explain mental health is kind of like saying how your mind feels and works, similar to our physical health. So it's about our feelings, our thoughts, and our coping skills, and also kind of focusing on it's okay to ask for help, the way we go to a doctor when we've, hurt our knee or our arm. So when we talk about mental health, it's not just about absence of illness, but it's about also talking about mental well-being. So that's what we kind of focus on, and mental well-being is feeling good about yourself, being able to cope with life's ups and downs, and having the resilience to manage stress and challenges. And it's these skills that our counselors work with young people to develop.
Lovely. That is amazing. Kids and young people do face many pressures today, maybe bullying, social media, family change, the pandemic, what we passed through a couple of years earlier. How have you seen the nature of the issues change in recent years?
Mhm. So we've definitely seen a rise in social media related stresses. So there's been a real big increase in cyberbullying, issues around body image concerns.
Wow.
And what we see is the pandemic amplified isolation and uncertainty. There's been some recent data that's come out, which identifies the young people from 12 to 25 as the loneliest cohort.
Wow.
So this previously used to sit with a 55 plus age range, but it's now come down to the 12 to 25s, which is hard to make sense of, because you think, oh, young people have a lot of opportunities for connection, like when they're at school, extracurricular sports, things like that. But the fact that this is coming out in data is really concerning, and has really changed how we look at mental health for young people. And now they face the constant digital pressures alongside traditional challenges.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's definitely a changing landscape in terms
Wow.
of issues.
Very, very interesting. The Kids Helpline service covers ages 5 to 12, 13 to 17, and 18 to 25. What are the different mental health changes across the age groups? How do you service or tailor the service to support accordingly?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. So if we talk about 5 to 12, what we see coming out in those calls or contacts are, school stress, friendships, family changes, about who they're living with, or, family breakdown, things like that. 13 to 17, we're seeing things about identity, peer pressure, and that mental health awareness building. And then 18 to 25 is that transition to independence, going from a structured learning environment to
Like the teenage crisis.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Going out into the world and financial stress and
Wow.
relationships. And I guess all our resources on our website, and the way our counselors speak to, each of those cohorts is really meeting them where they're at. So using language that's relatable to that age group, and the information on our website is written in a way that it's able to understand for each age group.
Wow, it's critical because from 12 to 13 it might differ. So
that's right. Yeah,
that's interesting.
It also accumulates. So all these issues will get more complex, and the depth of it is.
They do indeed. I can assume that many young people feel hesitant to seek help, due to the stigma or the fear. How does the Kids Helpline really encourage them to pick up the phone or join the web chat? And what steps can families take at home to this process?
So really normalizing conversations and normalizing help seeking. I think the stigma really stops people because there's fear of repercussions from family, or putting your issues out there where they feel could go out. But as a confidential service, the information will always honor the privacy act as well. And we use relatable campaigns. So, we'll use wording and imagery to relate to young people, so they feel that it's a safe place to help seek as well. And families, I guess, can help by, listening without judgment if a young person does want to speak to them, and also being modeling that openness about mental health and normalizing those conversations at home as well.
Right. And maybe as well the digital support that you that runs alongside the phone calls now, like the web chat and the emails. What advantages and limitations have you found with each mode of counseling?
So we have been phasing emails out just because of the time between emails. We're not able to conduct, proper risk assessments and
Right.
be as responsive. So we do offer web chat, which offers privacy and comfort for those who might be anxious about speaking, I feel like it's a changing landscape where, new generations aren't used to talking on the phone or.
Yeah, maybe it's more comfortable for them to chat it out than to speak it out. Yeah, fair enough.
But then there are some young people where, phone calls is what they're comfortable with because it allows that deeper emotional connection. And look, both have strengths. It's just, choice matters, and young people have the choice to do what they are comfortable with.
Lovely. Going along with the generation needs.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, Carolyn, you guys operate 24/7, and handling vulnerable calls as well must come with emotional demands. As a spokesperson, how do you ensure your team's well-being and ethical practice?
Mhm. So we really follow the motto that, we know that the help our clients and young people get is only as good as the support our own counselors receive.
Yeah.
And so, our counselors receive support in real time. So while they're on a call or a web chat, if they're coming across some complexity, if they're feeling uneasy, we have supervisors who are available in real time to guide them through that, to take over the call if a counselor needs. And we really prioritize counselor wellbeing through practice support and supervision, opportunities to debrief, connect sessions with counselors on the same shift nationally, and mental health support. In our New South Wales contact centre, we also have a Zen room.
Nice.
It's got mood lighting, fairy lights, and
Oh,
beanbags
that's
for
sweet.
counsellors. And sometimes counsellors want to take a moment to step away from their work.
Fair.
They can pray in there. They can disconnect from the call they just had, but just a room to really take a step away from the work for a little
Wow,
bit.
so the support is actually happening like a chain and
Yeah.
all along. That is amazing. Now, for families, how important it is to understand the confidentiality and the consent that the young persons have the right to speak freely. Where does your support come in?
Yeah, it's so vital. Confidentiality helps young people speak freely. And, we hope that families respect this while they stay supportive of young people contacting us. Any young person is welcome to contact us. We don't expect that they get permission from their parents to call us. We're considered first responders, so we don't need parental consent to speak
Right.
to young people. It's really about low barrier to access and making this as easy as possible for young people to seek help. So if our counsellors, and there's the other end of this as well. So if our counsellors engage with a young person who is at imminent risk, then they will exercise their duty of care to either call emergency services or make mandatory reports. And so there are some limitations to confidentiality, but it's always in the best interest of the young person.
Of course.
And we encourage young people to seek support from families and build their network of safe people. And for some young children, sometimes it's the parents that initiate the call with us and then hand over to the child. So it also tells the child that, the person we're speaking to is safe because, mum, dad, or caregiver have spoken to them too.
That is lovely. Now, culturally and linguistically, if I can say, diverse people may face extra barriers as well. What steps is Kids Helpline really taking to ensure the inclusivity and the access across migrant, and if I can say, the Arabic-speaking communities?
Yeah. So we collaborate with multicultural organizations and train counselors in cultural competence. So in our engagement with a child or young person calling us, we really seek to understand the young person's cultural background, encourage them to speak about what that means for them.
Right.
And so even in our practice framework, one of the principles that guides our work is to be culturally inclusive and respectful, and also how we make sense of cultural safety. So while we do only provide counseling services in English, we do encourage those to use the translating interpreting service, so TIS services, to connect with us. Or if someone calls us and they don't feel comfortable speaking in English, then we'll contact TIS and make that connection happen as well.
Oh, nice. Nice.
There are no barriers to contacting us, so it is open to all young people within Australia. We don't ask for, visa status or whether you have a Medicare card or anything like that. It's open and free for all. I myself am from a CALD background, so this is something that's always at the forefront of my mind.
Of course.
And I can see that Kids Helpline operates with a multicultural lens, and also being aware of what's happening for young people, not only within Australia, but also what global issues may impact.
Yeah, maybe in their hometown, they're here not a long time ago, they can't yet express their feelings in English. They need their mother tongue language. So it's really important to know you guys do help.
Yes.
That is amazing. Carolyn, with the AI and the apps and the peer support platforms, and maybe changing communication styles, how do you see the youth mental health support is evolving with all of that?
Yeah. That's a really great question.
AI is everywhere.
I know, it's taking
I know.
We're seeing youth mental health support change in really exciting ways. So technology is playing a huge role. So while AI can help spot early signs of distress and even personalize resources for young people, and then there's apps and our peer support platform, which creates safe spaces where they can't usually connect anonymously and share what they're going through. So that really helps reduce stigma.
Yeah.
And the way young people communicate is changing too. We're seeing short messages, chat-based support, even gamified wellness tools as well.
Oh, wow.
To make it really interactive and appealing. So I guess the future is about meeting them where young people are and blending that tech with human empathy. So we really harp on, it's not about replacing counselors.
Of course.
Using technology to make that support more accessible and proactive.
Breaking barriers, breaking ice.
Yeah. And also making sure it's culturally and linguistically inclusive, so every young person feels understood.
Wow, that's great. Kids Helpline recently launched or promoted tools such as their Wellbeing app, Quibble, and peer support community, My Circle. How do these innovations fit into the service model, and what impact are you measuring?
So Quibble helps track well-being, which is what we focus on, mental health well-being. Okay. And My Circle offers a safe peer support connection. So both empower young people and reduce isolation. But we also run off a stepped care approach. So that young people have different support, different support needs. Some need more self-help by reading resources. So, when they read resources, maybe with different imagery, it kind of, they absorb that information better. Where others may engage through our My Circle, which is our lived experience peer support platform. And it's clinically moderated by our counselors. So young people use an alias to create an account and post about their experience. We don't allow anyone to put any identifiable information. We want to keep it safe. And we make sure that the responses that other young people give them are safe and also, supportive as well.
Lovely. Lovely, great ideas and services out there. If you had, I want to throw it in your hands now. If you had to state one major shift you hope to see in Australia's approach for the kids' mental health over the next decade, what would it be?
For me, it's I hope to see mental health treated like physical health. So, we need to be proactive, stigma-free, embedded in our schools and communities. But also when someone does need support, that it is available when they need it. and that the services are specifically there and able to connect with young people, and that they're adequately funded so that there's no long wait
Barriers.
lists. Yeah, no barriers. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, let's hope for that to happen soon and not wait a decade for it to happen. Carolyn, towards the end of my episode, I always love to do some myth busting. A lot of people might think, this is a true story or not. Maybe we can tell them if it's true or false, and maybe with a little why, if you don't mind. Just little statements, and we'll cover that all through it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do that. My first sentence would be, only teenagers can benefit from a helpline.
No, false. Everyone can benefit. Kids Helpline is for 5 to 25, but there are other helplines for other age groups as well.
Amazing. That was quick and easy. The second one, if a young person is quiet and doing okay at school, they don't really need mental health support.
False. Struggles aren't always visible. So you can't take things at face value all the time. And people are very good at acting.
Yeah. No, look, maybe they're just quiet and, they're just taking it all in. It's easier to get it out.
That's right.
Interesting. All right. The second one, phone counseling is less effective than face-to-face therapy.
False. What we see is phone counseling is highly effective and accessible from anywhere. There's no cost to making that phone call.
Interesting. Okay. The next one. Young people should wait until things get really bad before asking for help.
False. Early help always prevents crisis. So, early intervention always, and education. Yeah.
So the earlier the better, you say?
That's right. Yeah.
The earlier the better. Okay. The last one, parents talking about mental health will make kids really worried.
False. Because I think
You took a minute, but.
Sorry?
You took a minute, though. Why?
Yeah, I think because I understand that statement as from a CAL's perspective.
Okay.
But I think to change that stigma, then it's false, because we need to open that healthy dialogue and normalize the conversation, so that, everyone's open to having that conversation at home. So young people feel comfortable having it outside as well.
Outside. Lovely. Well, Carolyn, that was it for me today. Thank you so much for joining us and for shining a light on how services like Kids Helpline really support mental health of our young people. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me and shining a light on this. And what a pleasure.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And to our listeners, before we go, if you're under 25 and going through something, or if you love someone who is, remember, there is a free confidential helpline available 24/7 for kids, and it's on 1800 55 1800 or via web chat and online. You're not alone, and it's okay to reach out. This was Christine with Scientifically Speaking on Oz Arab Media. Until next time.